Hello, this is Nerd Commando, your global expert on fun, and let's try to record an Ironclad Ascension 10 playthrough. So here we can either, well, Lost Coffer is like the weakest of them all because it is very unlikely to produce anything that matters. Here we can remove one of defense out of our deck, and that's it. And here, Ironclad is probably the best class to attempt this stuff, if only because strike number does matter for him, so potentially it can make the other synergies better, and because well, the best choice here is definitely Precise Sisters, but that's something too boring to record, so there, let's go into the Courier and the Strawberry. The Strawberry is whatever, the Courier, especially if we are lucky enough to get that card, he might be the real deal. Then, what about... Unfortunately, there will be a merchant later on, so it's only this leftmost path is the one with the big enough amount of campfires that we need. Next, we do the damage from the prepared bash, and then it's kind of bad turn, right? A turn where we can't really kill it and can't really absorb that much damage. Of course, our Burning Blood will take care of some of that, but we'd ideally use it for the other purposes. This is on the better branch, so Tremble, for example, is augmented. Although I must say that while too vulnerable for one mana does not sound too hot, even in the non-upgraded shape, it was decent enough. And this is more of an upgrade in terms of Senpai Notice Me than it is some kind of major improval. But still, vulnerability... Well, Blood Wall, I like this. The self-damage archetype is just painful, the rewards are even worse than they were, and 2 mana for 16 block is not a good ratio at all. So it's really either Tremble or Shrug It Off, but for Tremble we're not even sure if there are any payoffs yet, so we'll just go for the Trust and instead of Shrug It Off. When your deck is mostly basic, Shrug It Off doesn't really do as much as you'd wish to do. You do not really care about cycling into more basic cards. But then again, what can you do? So here, let's... this bastard is so well fed, to be honest. I'm thinking how to... Okay, let's try to live dangerously here. As much as we can, but... this turn, I can't even really do anything, and then it goes down. But we'd hope to restore a bit of life back, but we just slowly ground over. So Havoc, I am not against them, but the whole Exhaust archetype kinda sucks, and Havoc is only that good once you have it upgraded, which is a huge luxury that we do not really have or rarely have at the Ascension 10. Not to mention that right now it's also difficult to be picked up first because right now it's not like we have any amazing targets for it. Infernal Blade is more of an exhaust deck tool too because it's just totally random, and it is also not that cool without being upgraded. So I guess we'll go for the old and trusty Iron Wave. That one is fine enough. So question marks time. Enchanter card with Zone. This one is best. Well, we don't have anything in it or whatever, so let's just consume. Let's prolong our bash seriously because this extra upgrade matters a lot. I know that it's it's kind of fashionable right now to be bashing the bash, but it's an alright card. It's an alright card. Upgraded, it just works. Just works. It's nothing too fancy. But as far as the starter deck goes, it's reasonable. So now we just don't want to finish this encounter without getting like this as a great... Well, This is just a bash for the dead. Explosive ampule. There we go. So another havoc doesn't really work. Armaments. Armaments are always sweet. Or inferno. Well, with inferno we go into the self-damage archetype, which, well, inferno is one of the better ways to be getting there, but still I'm not that big of a fan, especially since that relies on quite a bit of synergy, which honestly with this a bit thicker deck, with this extra strike and defend, we really want to be going into the obviously strike build. So I guess I will go for the armament. We're not upgraded all our stuff, and at the very least that is impactful enough. I think we'll even smith the armaments, just smith the armament, and everything else is auto smitten too. Now we have the courier, these 20% discount, but the war paint, it's just some extra. Oh, the stampede is something with the ultimate strike, I suppose, great in the strike archetype. But when you get this early courier, you really wanna be grabbing. Well, do we just go greedy and we fight this elite, we get this treasure, and then maybe we hope for a credit card in the second shop? Maybe we just don't deny ourselves that opportunity. Something like that. So elite, ooh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. That's a painful one. I think here we'll go all into dome, not even trying to defend too much. Because trying to defend too much against it, it doesn't really end all that well. So here, strike and this, and now it's time to be slamming that potion. Well, armaments we will be probably using, but then defend, and I guess another strike while it is vulnerable. Then do we go into another bash to keep the fun going? Okay, just trade, and then this way. 1 damage short. Well, maybe not. Stone Calendar is a bit slow. Is majorly slow, but what can you do? So Twin Strike or Pommel Strike. Usually I'd say Pommel Strike is a bit better, but we do fight the Phantom. And versus the Phantom, I would prefer having the Twin Strike. Here we can only rest inside a Quebeco, not bad with our Multi Strike, but not that great either. No credit card. No, no, everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is too good, really. Because for this class, you see, well, okay. Kifoda is one of the best cards he may offer. Well, Radix. It's just amazing because you see, this Adroit, the power of it is that it adds a separate instance of block. And first, it can add it to any cards, to both, well, to powers, it's not so amazing, but it can add to attacks. Then, for example, if we had Anger, or if we buy Anger, we can add Kifuda to Anger, and then the copies of Anger would also be Kifuda, so they would also be providing us with 3 extra block, but we don't really have the synergy to, well, we could try to well, the chance of getting that Infinity Top is not a huge one, so that's a very tall ask, but yeah, and Kifoda is especially amazing with the classes which our Ironclad isn't, and that is with Dexterity, because if you add it to defend, then it has this 5 block and the 3 block, and both profit from Dexterity, so add to Dexterity, and from the 8 total it goes to a dozen total. And well, Kifoda of course is the biggest dream of the Silent. It's amazing, but here it's also upgraded attacks deal 3 additional damage on any multi-strikes, even on the Twin Strike, that is a lot. And we do have the armament, so even these basic strikes, like upgraded, they are 9, and then they will be getting into the dozen territory, and that's a pretty big deal. So I think given that we don't have any special Dexterity synergy, we'll go for the cannon. cannon is pretty swell. So here we can enchant either attack or defense with sharp or nimble. We don't have the bestest of, let's just attack this twin strike with 7 damage. It's not the best target at all, but it's what we have. Spoils map. It's greedy, but with the courier and with our deck being already thick and with no other curses, let's just try to gamble on that. So either 1 random potion or remove 1 defend and guilty. You usually like this card a bit later, but whatever. So now with the Akabeko we have this strong opener, armaments, and do we even try to balance it? Or do we just... Okay, maybe let's just try to bomb rush the Fogmog and just get done with that. Or rather, this encounter fast. Ouch! Sequence. I just thought I have it. Okay. In case of misclicks and whatnot, I allow myself to replay it because I have no idea why I played it out that way. It was just unreasonable. So of course, here we bash and then kill. Now, configure... Well, there is a pommel strike, which is always good, but here we also have this... Well, it's not like in this particular deck we'll be playing that many attacks per turn, but it's still, like, even... Well, 8 to everybody is a bit honest, even upgraded, but with that just one... it's probably, to be honest, for a rare. In the majority of builds here, it's a so-so proposal, but whatever. So here we... Well, 56 might be enough versus him. So can we actually smith something here? Let's smith the Iron Wave mayhaps, or even shrug it off, I think. Because usually 56 is alright here. We are also lucky enough to get these early armaments. And now it's just all about chipping his health down, shrug it off into 2 more stacks of goodness. Now, of course, we are getting a nasty 25 punch right here, but then at least it's like a bash and a strike. Defend couple more chops. Very bad armaments, to be honest. Well, we did upgrade this Iron Wave, but could have been much better. And now this turn will be... Oh, now, because of how we played our previous turns, we kind of survive. We also get the very, very big stone calendar explosion. And now we just hope to bomb rush this thing. Can we do so? Barely. Okay, so greed is good. Greed is good. Then, the Dark Embrace is a bit of a meme. I have no idea why it got upgraded into a rare. Yes, it's a bunch of draw cards, but Exhaust Archetype doesn't really have any issue with drawing cards. It does it aplenty. And I suppose it's meant to facilitate the infinity combos, but with how heavily those get punished, it's a joke in its own. Colossus, I suppose Cruelty also sounds nice, but I think that Colossus is a bit more important because, it is more safe, because generally speaking what you want to do is to be able to pump out 40 to 50 block each turn, maximum, to prevent whatever your enemy is doing. And Colossus, of course, means that once they're vulnerable, it has to be 40 to 50, 25 is more than enough. So this is like, yes, this is very nice, but this is just steadier. I think, I don't know, I see the complaints here and there right now that Ironclad is a bit underpowered, but I think the majority of that stems is that he seems to be this all aggro out kinda class, but he really is not. Well, he can be, but that just doesn't really work. And as long as you try to play him defensively, and playing him defensively is totally possible, it's just that it does rely on like all his better defensive options. Like the key defensive cards are, of course, the uppercut, which is uncommon and which also is really defensive once it is upgraded. So there is that, and then all his great defenses. And he has a number because you have the Mango, you have the Colossus, you have the Crimson Mantle, you have the Unmovable, and you have the whole Barricade thing. So even Pyre is kind of defensive because you get 5 mana instead of 3, and you get these draw cards which can, you know, get defense and more cards, and that surely helps that. So all that. Well, yeah, I'm not mentioning Impervious because that exhaust, that's not as reliable. It's a nice way, it's more for the aggro build. Another thing is that it hasn't been scaled up for this particular game. Previously, it could have absorbed pretty much everything. Right now, I mean, we already had 32 damage aimed at us, so right now it's not as much there. Like, just Impervious alone is not as it sounds. And so lots of the great rare options, it's just that they are rare. And some like Mango can also require an upgrade and can also take a bit of adjustment and whatnot in terms of how do you actually play them and so forth. So yeah, you need to keep your eye out and open. So then, what do we have here? Upgrade 6 random cards. It's sort of great for us, but also it dilutes the armaments value. So then Radiant Pearl, that one by the way is nice with the armaments. It's gonna be more often cast for 3 rather than 2, and Touch of Ouroboros gets 6 extra life per combat. It's not that bad, but I have the hunch that 2-3 mana when we need it will prevent more than that per combat, so we'll go here. Also go into the double resting point, and then there is a double shop point, and with the courier we'll do as much as possible to force that credit, well, not the credit card, but it looks like a credit card, it's a membership card or something, you know what I'm meaning, hopefully. So here is gonna be armaments. You see, now it's 3 mana. When we need him, shrug it off. Now we have the Colossus. Let's do some damage there. And I'm not even sure if I want to be popping the Luminous here, because 2 strikes will not really cut all that much here. So now we have this. Well, on this turn, it's also a crappy turn to be doing so, but on this turn it's more like I'll have to get no damage dealt. So we kill the big one and parry this 9 damage. Then 11 isn't common. Well, I'm still because of the curses, I'm still getting some damage through. But it's not as big of a deal. Armaments. Chop, chop. And now it's pretty... Well, let's try to shrug it off. Here it's gonna be a strike and conflagration. Decent enough. So then we have Burning Pact, always nice to have. We also have a Greater Tremble. It's with with Colossus, we are not against having a very long Tremble effect to apply on the enemy. On the other hand, Burning Pact, just that now we have this spare mana, and we do have this go-to for a couple of turns, and it's nice to be having extra card advantage on this class. Like, Evil Eye is for a different archetype. So I suppose for the longer combats and the strike synergy, we're sort of meant to be playing that, but we do not really play it that much. And Burn Impact also means we're gonna be drawing our armaments a bit more frequently, and that means, well, that with the cannon means a lot for us. So I think I'll go there. Obtain either a random power or 0 cost card. Now let me think. Well, here 0 does. Like, well, we could be using Bloodletting with some card advantage, 1 is fine. Anger is the worst choice, but at least now we have the exhaustion for that. Just that with the powers, there are some which will be very useful. I guess I cannot... I can sort by... Okay. Power pool, of course, is a bit bigger, and while there are definitely some winners, like Inflame or Stampede even, we could also get something like... We are not like Rupture or Juggling. So I think let's go for the 0 cost. Bloodletting, I'm fine with that. Right now we do have these sources of extra card advantage, but not enough. Draw, so yeah. Besides, you see here, sure, we take 3 damage, but we will be casting Defend and Iron Wave, and they will be blocking a bit more than that. So let's focus the smaller bug until it gets... Well, we'll actually do both. So armaments into strike, into 15 to everybody. It's not that amazing for rare, but it works. So... Kind of silly turn, right? All block... Well, that's the spoils map too. And so here we do Luminescence, right? And we just bash and strike. Oh, Luminous. Well, I could do it without any cost, so I did it, alright? Then, Perfected Strike. Well, with so many strikes, don't see why I don't. We can, of course, get the Pommel Strike too. Or even Havoc with armaments, but we do have some extra mana and whatnot. So then, armaments, strike, or even... Usually, of course, you play configuration before, but we do have Akabeko, and this way it's gonna be all in all more damage. So let's not play usually. Here, Bloodletting... Well, here we can also, of course, play the Luminescence. Let's see. Just bash and strike. Unfortunately, we'll be getting 15, and there ain't much we can do about that. Okay, let's do Bloodletting because next turn it will be the same 2 Toxic that we have to take care of, only Luminous can be brought into that next turn, and this thing can't. So now it's definitely Luminescence. Shrug it off. Get rid of the Toxic. And we're 1 point short from doing... Like, we have to slam the Perfected Strike there and still cast the Defend, so we don't take that much damage. Here it's gonna be just Wave, Defend. Without our mana, Burn Impact, of course, does look a bit sadder. But now we get it once more. So it's just 18 to everybody. One of the curses is out. Then Dominate. Okay, upgrade the Dominate. I'm taking it self-exhaust, so it doesn't clog the deck. And I'm not sure if it was... Once again, it feels like the Vulnerability archetype, maybe it was not that popular, but it was already good. And this buff here, it is more like a Senpai notice me buff. We know sometimes in games, in communities, it happens that way. You know, I think that's perfectly legit, but community for some reason ignores it, and you just have to overbuff it so the community would actually start to use it, and later on it might get nerfed, but that's later on. So okay, Dominate. Now Given we have to fight elite, we rest for sure. Especially since it's this elite. Let's shrug it off. Do we just try to hit conflagration? Well, sure we do. Now it's only 28 damage incoming though. Let's see what a colorless potion would give us. Shockwave. Okay, that works fine. Because that means that now, by playing wholly defensive turn, we do not lose that much. Of course, we can also try to survive until the Stone Calendar. With the nerf, it will be enough, but that's Oh, it also combos nicely with the Dominate. The only sad part is that, well, now we'll have to be killing some of them. Because even that way, we'll be suffering. Now we have the armaments. The Colossus. Of course, this thing will be reanimating, but what can I do? I can only punch the bigger thing. Now we have this conflagration. But now, still 4 turns here. Or do we just like... So, let's do the Luminous. Feels like a turn for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to burn and pack that strike into another strike. Great. So it would be doing 18, and bash is 17. Oh, 17 plus 27 together. So we can do bash here, it will be dead. Then it will be doing 18. No, yes, it will be doing 18. So we can do it here. And just 6 hit points short. But then, perfected strike for the win. Stonecracker, now that's been upgraded, just upgrade to random cards. With Cannon, I am fine with that. Skill Potion. Primal Force. Usually I'm not that big on it, but with Primal Force the advantage is that we can, like you see, we have this cannon, and with the Primal Source we can upgrade it, and all the skills it will do will also be upgraded. It does kind of remove the strikes, and so it messes with our perfected strike, but then we can just Primal Force, we can just I'm actually not sure if it's that great on this particular difficulty. It works fine beyond all these Ascension 8, 9, 10, but I suppose it's time to see. So here with Smith, so we can rely on it. Then we remove the curse. Oh, Razor Tooth, yeah. Full cannon synergy. This playthrough right now is canon. So then, we can heal hit points and get Metamorphosis. I guess with the Primal Force it's alright. And we have the Exhaust for the scrappy option. So, fine. Unfortunately, I don't think if you grade it, it adds more, but they won't be graded. But I guess we can afterwards use Armaments. We have only 1 in a 24 card deck, but that's, well, 24 is still not that much. Now, unfortunately, there was no membership card, but there is the miniature tent. And that one is huge. So let's buy that one. Let's also, since we have some cash to spare, let's also maybe get a meal ticket. Because we will be visiting this shop. Well, not that we need, but for the future, still, it's... we will be trying to visit 2 shops in the Act 3 too, with the courier, so that's a lot. Now, the Molten Egg, the Gorget is gorgeous, but let's just save some cash for the future. Now here, not that we need to... rest, but let's first upgrade our pact. We can still rest. We can heal this away. Now we have Dolly's Mirror. But we also have Strike Dummy. Okay, Strike Dummy is a slam. Book of Fire Ring, so. Do we go? Well, Mirror is usually great, but do we have anything amazing? In reality, like, it's like Twin Strike on a Conflagration. Just that I'd rather save my cash for the future shops, because I don't, well, dominate? I don't really see anything that would be just oomph in me, in terms of how cool it would be. So probably not. Maybe another armaments, because we do depend. Okay, 90 coin armaments, I'm fine, I'm confident. There is also Entropy, but that one is... Do we need... Maybe Stampede, because we could be using extra mana. Then add Clumsy and a random relic. But you know, I'd rather get some gold. It's not a big sum, but with the discount, it might be something. So, definitely Smith the Stampede, so we can slam it without relying on anything else. Now comes the big guy. Now is the Primal Force, and so instead of doing 17, well, that's with the Vigor. That's the 31 and 21. Eat the rock, my darling. Oh, although, well, I maybe should have upgraded the armor, but okay, now we can both rest and smith. We have enough of everything to be upgrading it, so let's shrug it off. Do we just make it weak and go for a... Wait, why? Oh, it's graded because there is the stone cracker there. Well, I suppose if it's there, it's there. So Stampede. Burning Pact into Iron Wave. A freebie Iron Wave, because a freebie Iron Wave is certainly better. It's also a very big turn. It's also a very big turn, so maybe we drink the skill potion, just so we have Stoke, but it's a nerfed Stoke. Instead of drawing it, it just doesn't really do much. Could also do Evil Eye, right? We did exhaust a card this turn, so it will be 16 block, and this way we can do even more block. But no, let's do the armaments. Maybe even for the Luminous, or we can wait for another. Okay, let's do more damage that away and this away. And I need to remember that I do have the Stampede, so it all works and functions. And here I can do armaments into bash, into just casual 9 enemies, like 36 damage from one card. Too bad I cannot do the Twin Strike, but man, I need to get... Oh right, I need to not forget to do these Frantic Escapes, or I'm moderately dead. And here it's gonna be Dominate. And just, freebie Bludgeon. And Strike. Eat some damage. Frantic Escape for sure. Oh, we can do this Dominate and Frantic Escape. And eat some damage, but thankfully we have enough, and a classy giant rock for the win. Enjoy your stay. Now here, as I've said, we need that extra block, so whenever we do pick up anything, we focus on the block first. Which means that unmovable is absolute. Like, this class already has damage through the roof, so cruelty is nice, but that's just greedy. Like this boss we can rush, but we cannot really play this Russian game with the Dollmaker and Queen. We want to be as healthy as possible after the Dollmaker, so we have enough resources for the Queen. And here we need arrests and merchants, which is something that this path has a plenty. And okay, let's say this away and this away. Now, you may cook at the rest sites. Usually you do not pick this option, but here of course we will be picking this option because, you know, we can do it for free. Yeah, it's definitely, well, random zero attack is not that bad in this deck, but, well, I'm not sure if this would be better, but okay, come on. I am cooking with a miniature tent. You cannot dissuade me or persuade me otherwise. This deck, it's like this perfect whole event. It just fits. So then let's shrug some damage off. Do we stampede? Do we even defend or just maybe burn impact? It's not the easiest start here. So luminescence unmovable, but maybe not even play the strike just so you can save this 8 damage for something better. Kinda so luminous to be honest, but okay. Now we have this conflagration. Oh, okay, so Stampede out of place, so the Vigor would be taken anyways. How do we then... So, Iron Wave and 15 to everybody. We take a crap load of damage. But, it just goes that way here. And now, do we just do Primal Force? 23 vulnerable. Thunderclap, Anger, that's all nice, but probably no. At least the meal ticket comes into picture, and here... no luck with a membership card. We can buy the tungsten rod. If only so... the bloodletting is much cheaper. And we'll be having a plenty of health, so with all that in picture... we'll be getting more mileage out of the meat cleaver. So let's do that. Kusari Gamma, I'd rather save the cash for the future, because there is still that one shop where our dreams may come to fulfillment. 2 flavor cards at the start of each combat, but 20 maximum hit points. Just outlast them all. But on the other hand, you see, upgrades are cool for us, but we already have this thing going on with Primal Force and whatnot. So I guess Big Mushroom it is. And then maybe we just try to buy something that fixes that. Especially when we can just like burn Impact into Unmovable, into Bloodletting, into Perfect Strike. And now just shrug it off. And then, you know, just business as usual. Well, armaments, well, not business as usual. We'll take some damage, but it will deal 15 twice. And do we... no, we don't do metamorphosis. The bastard just scales as a mutant. I'm thinking what to do here. Now this is a mighty primal force for... well, let's do the armaments then. Not that they change much. I guess the bash. Oh, the primal force, the luminous 34. Missed one attack to finish this cleanly. Another twin strike. Upgrade one. Well, by this point, I don't really want more twin strikes or anything. I mean, it's nice, but I really want card draw. Usually it's abundant enough. Not in this case. Of course, with miniature cannon, that is something. There is also bully, but how much vulnerability do we apply? Not that much. So okay, for now we'll just abstain. This question mark would be to foul potions. On this path they are kinda majestic. And so cook. Well, now that we remove the basic strikes, the perfected strike also goes out. Rest and smith. Let's smith the power so they do not... well, we'll smith this power. And then in this chest, the vambrace. The vambrace is fine. Then cook. 2 strikes. Well, it's more like they get the strike out. Well, the mighty fine rest. And now, given that we have 125 and like there is no point not to go for Elite Elite, right? So the unmovable, the Colossus for 20 points, the Blood Veteran is kinda waste. Then we have the Iron Wave. Well, the Luminous we have to cast here because it's ethereal, and with this hand we are not killing the Spectral Knight yet, so it's gonna be a bit of a silly turn. Now our cards are degraded. I'm not sure how do armaments interact with that. Let's maybe see. Yeah. We are still better than that. But now we lose the Stampede because, well, everything being ethereal and downgraded is painful. Now it is Primal Force time. At least this menace is gone. And is it another Primal Force time? No, it's 14 to the dome. I don't really believe in metamorphoses in this particular combat. So let this be armaments. And defend maybe, so we don't take too much damage. 11 and 23. Now 22. And here in 17, or our strike is better for sure. Took a boatload of damage here. And an empty turn. Okay, totally forgot about Stone Calendar, which is probably a mistake. Yeah, let's just fight the elite. What's the worst that could happen? Self-form in clay. Lose hit points, gain 3 block. Not that bad. Spite has been nerfed. Now lost hit points hit 3 times. Well, it's not like it has been nerfed. Just we don't, outside of the Blood Veteran, we don't have the best potential to be doing anything with it. So let's cook. The final 2 strikes are... oh no, we still have 1 more. But now less basic stuff. Here, Smith. I suppose, okay, fine, let's Smith the Metamorphosis, just so we get better options out of that. And now we rest. At the Merchant, more life. Well, it would be ironic if now we'd be getting that... oh wait. Membership card. Oh, now we can also procure a random well, I definitely want Flash of Steel. That one is amazing. Then Cauldron is over-optimistic. But none of these are that amazing. But we do get, well, okay, tiny mailbox. We could buy some, but then again, maybe just the blood option is so good when you have so much hit points. But still, let's get the mailbox. The reptile trinket. Let's get this then. We'll get one option for free. And now it's either we get this Mercury Hourglass, or we remove one more card and get... I think we need to remove the Final Strike and get Battle Trance. Then add this question mark. Ripple Basin. And now we cook. Now it's basic defense time. And Smith. Definitely. Well, here it doesn't matter that much, but that just to do the better initial impression. And we rest and get that speed potion. Oh, now the freshly upgraded boss. Oh, and having this bash here is so painful, because it's a card that does matter versus him. But what can you do? Then we begin from the Metamorphosis. Flash of Steel. Armaments. I guess. Do we take damage this a turn? I suppose we do. We'll need this Luminous for the later. Of course, Battle Trance is so amazing versus him, like it's... Why not feed him more? Why not feed him more? But what can I do? Anger. Shrug it off. Well, let's do Bloodletting. Get some clay. Shrug it off. Primal Force, I suppose. And just rock on. Stampede. Pommel. Freebie Bludgeon is nice. Now I don't even have a pack to burn, really. Guess we can already drink this. Mind you, we don't really need to exhaust a card here. We can just do Luminous and do it this way. Then dominate him. Then Twin Strike him. And not Battle Trance at 1 mana though. Now it is this, of course. There also isn't, but now we have Colossus. So Colossus is pretty huge. We can do this Colossus and defend, but still Giant Rock, not Iron Wave. I guess even though his counter decks grow up, we still need to do this Flash of Steel. It's just inevitable that way. So let's shrug it off. Oh, and he's stolen our double block each turn, right? It's, well, it's such a screwed up boss encounter because of that. Because that is seriously one of the cards which hurts us the most here. Losing it. Oh, and also now is the turn to be drinking this potion. So, Bludgeon. Oh, should have Bloodlet. Man, I've misplayed this turn so hugely. Guess Bloodletting anyways. And Bash, and well, it would be auto-played, but I'd rather make it unpersonal. And now we have Primal Force, but I'd rather just Twin Strike. Or maybe Armaments and you see the 7 block here or more damage. It also will be... Okay, let's do the Giant Rock and the calendar will explode. And well, we have 73 life remaining for the next combat, but at least it won't be as bullshitty as stealing the major source of fighting power. Because if we don't lose this to him, the entire combat goes without us losing. Like it's 70 plus 20%, almost 100 life points. So here we have Twin Strike. And we have to do the Colossus, or maybe save the Vambrace for the... Now, let's just do the Colossus. Hard start of the turn. And here, cannot install the Stampede, got to do the Battle Trance. But now it gets a bit more fun, because we get to do the armaments. We have this extra Bloodletting mana. We have the Dominate. We can do a Burn Impact into basic defend. Oh. Well, okay. Let's get it out of the picture. You know, I just forgot that Battle Trance is there. We didn't even get to use it that much. Now a bit more but here it's definitely Shrug It Off. And here it's also tough, like Unmovable is obviously the final card in the deck, whereas it's sorta relevant in this particular encounter. And Colossus was first, which hurts us a lot. Now it is this Primal Force, but I don't really want to be Primal Force in Flash of Steel. I guess we just eat the damage here and just do the Metamorphosis. Now there is this Unmovable. Well, got to drop it. We have the Stomp. Oh, let's first draw a card. The Unrelenting. And Stomp and still eat the damage. Ah, crap. Well, now with the Shrug It Off it should be a bit easier, but we will first Shrug It Off. Pommel Strike for free. Battle Trance. Okay, so we do the Bloodletting. Perfected Strike. That was a sad one. Where is our Bash, by the way? We can do the Stomp. And we can do the Iron Wave. 25 life remaining. Bad flow of combat, really. Now, we totally do the Burning Strike into Conflagration, maybe. It's upgraded, sure, but what can you do? There is the Bash. We need to kill this bastard, of course. We also have this 3 extra mana. I'm thinking how just we do not die. Now we have this Twin Strike for 24. But we also have the... Well, now it's Luminous time, right? So we can do this Bash into Queen. Stampede. Twin Strike, Primal Force. And you see when you transform the attack you can still play it. So next turn we'll have to draw our Colossi. We'll have to draw Colossi neatly versus her. Thankfully we did. So it's gonna be Colossi. Still plenty of damage incoming, but hopefully the Iron Wave and the Perfected Strike We'll manage it somehow. So this turn we do survive, but still it's another 30. It's another 30, and all our draw is... Well, both of our draw cards are... You know what happens to them. So do we exhaust armaments as we don't really need them anymore, or do we exhaust battle... let's just do the battle trance, maybe, because it's 4 cards. But then again, how many cards to draw? We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. But then Burning Pact costs mana, of course, but okay, I just don't need this on the next turns. So Shrug it off. Pommel Strike. Perfected Strike. Oh, Setup Strike. Crap, I used it. This sequence was wrong. Storm 25 to everybody. Iron Wave. Now we'll also get 1 extra Giant Rock. Now Colossi, but at the wrong time, and it's a Flash of Steel. Twin Strike and Armaments. And now it's... now it's just 60 to the dome. And we have the horrible timing for the bash. Shrug it off. Flash of Steel. Twin Strike will not cut it. 22 versus... Okay, so that's not enough. Because we overspent, like, if we hadn't overspent hit points in the previous combat... But let's see if we can save scum a little here. Because theoretically, it should be enough. It's just that both times... Well, yeah, sure, the Big Mushroom doesn't help, but both times our unmovable is more like unwinnable. You could say that maybe we overdid. Like here, let's go for the Colossi. And here, maybe let's do extra damage to the Queen. Because you could say that maybe we need to endure this bastard a bit more. And that the Calendar deal more damage to him. And that maybe that was the teeny amount of everything that we've missed. So here, do we just go for the Stampede, perhaps? But no, here Stampede is... We also lose a lot of damage on... But you see, no, we need to do... here, Battle Trance is correct, because we do need to get to Unmovable ASAP. So Battle Trance, but no Burning Pact. We remember that part. It would be Armaments. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we can still use the Bloodletting. It would be... Well, the Dominate, and now the damage does have to go here. We cannot just focus the Queen, perhaps. But if this attempt fails, then I'll consider focusing the Queen too. And Burning Pact, or maybe Burning Pact into the event was lacking too much defensive cards. No. We did Shrug it off, but do we just Flash of Steel and hope to get the Unmovable? That was just a cheeky option, but maybe that... No, it would be Primal Force. It would be too much damage. So this is probably the wrong way of getting about it. So this is probably... And yeah, and afterwards, so this is definitely not the golden path to victory. Because we get Unmovable, 24 damage incoming, and we cannot even... Oh, we can draw 1 card, but we can't even do anything. Life is hard. So Colossus, that a damage. And this is all just so harsh. We can also do like this the dominate Iron Wave Stampede here, but what would that change instead of the Battle Trance? Given that Unmovable is the final card. Like, we don't want to get Stampede into game. Armaments. We don't use the full value. Conflagration. I don't even get the full value of this vulnerability here, but what can you do? Now just shrug it off. Armaments. And do we? But transforming this Flash of Steel, I'd rather get 4 extra block from Ripple Basin. Honestly. Or say if we do Metamorphosis, the problem is we get 5 attacks and Bash and Unmovable. It's too late for this Metamorphosis. Everything just comes together at the worst time in this combat. Just everything is just bad. Okay, so here we still get Unmovable, and it's just bollocks. It's just bollocks. Absolutely and utterly. So the Unmovable, the Stampede. It can play Bash even though it's unplayable. Guess that's one pleasant thing. So just a dozen of block and Twin Strike and Conflagration. But now we're at 21 and it does this huge amount of damage. But we do get the Colossus in time. We don't get much else done, but the Colossus alone will absorb that horrible strike. Now, but this just doesn't end. So shrug it off. Twin Strike. Defend and Iron Wave will be played out for free. Now we get the Stone Calendar value, which is about time. So do we just Metamorphosis, Battle Trance, since we have Conflagration, we don't even need to attack him. We need to do a Pommel Strike here, and then a Conflagration, and then a freebie Bash. But now it's 45 damage, and how do we survive that? How do we survive that with 0 block? Because now we do not get our Colossi on time. So maybe Metamorphosis is not that. We really had to, like, you see, with replaying, we really had to replay the preview. But then again, it just the entire, once again, the entire. We don't get the nice vulnerability in the Colossi bot combats. We don't get our power set up nicely too. Here we also do not really get any. Like, we can bloodlet ourselves. Fun, right? Well, let's do the final try. Maybe not even Colossus this turn to get Bats of Embrace value. On the next one. But here it would be Iron Wave. doesn't matter as much. So dominate the queen, Iron Wave, and Stampede. But Stampede isn't really a problem, or is it? So now it's not burning back the armaments. We have another. And Flash of Steel. And like shrug it off. And armaments. And luminous. And defend. And a mighty big conflagration, but then we'll cast it for free with the Stampede. So do we just say Metamorphosis? Here actually the fact that Metamorphosis is upgraded hurts us. I'd prefer 3. But now of course she gets this 20 block each and every turn. So now we need to do the unmovable, the defend, and the luminous on the previous turn was even wrong, right? So now we have a lot of card advantage turn. I guess let's do the Burning Pact first, into armaments, then we have this Flash of Steel. Well, when Queen gets so much, we cannot really be focusing her down. So maybe we need to take care of her body pet too. So Bloodletting for mana for sure. Battle Trance. Then what? Shrug it off. Iron Wave. And maybe I should have cooked Primal Force too. Because once we're out of strikes, it kinda loses its value. Fast and hard. So Twin Strike. And well, Colossus of course. Do we want to burn and pack the basic defend? We probably do. Oh, I should have... Actually this... That's even less useful. And now it's 48. Now it's 48 and we really need to Flash of Steel this one into... Okay, that was nice. We can do Colossus and defend. And now we need the bash to hit, right? Or we die. Well, can't even get that. Can't even get that. Now, can we save and quit by the way after that? Or it's... No. We can't even get that. It's just as unlucky as it gets in both boss fights. Should have restarted, but it's just phenomenal. Let's review once more. Just you see 104 damage. It's insane. Well, of course, that's also debuffed Door Maker. 104 damage is insane. And here in reality, if we like took only 50, those 50 on the first attempt would be that would be enough. Like, because we brought her down to 60 and one more turn is what we've lacked, but one more turn is huge. You could also say that we've lacked one more drawing option. Just didn't get there. Maybe in one of the shops, maybe I've gotten to... I've been having too much, but I don't think we've had any amazing drawing shops anywhere. And you know, it's just another thing, drawing options. Yeah. Just that you see, yeah, the Doorkeeper and the Queen are the worst combinations. Because the Doorkeeper, it punishes ya for drawing too much. The Queen, she punishes ya for drawing too little. Go on, my friends. Go on, my friends, just Balance it. But okay, I guess it'll do. It'll do for now. So hope we've all learned something from this attack. Oh, do we take another one? It's not that long yet. Okay, let's try. So well, I haven't had the tablet yet, and this is a very rare dependent class. So let's see. Feed. Feed is the ultimate troll option. Just that on this difficulty, waiting for the feed to come by, that's just that it's very difficult. And as you can see, having 140 hit points doesn't mean shit. It'll just get bitten out of ya. When the enemy is doing 60 damage per turn, you feel like feed is a little troll on the A10, and it's probably, we can go either to the Primal Force, but Primal Force is just, well, usually of course it does exist to manage the strike, but I'd say that ultimately Pyre is just amazing. 5 mana is 5 mana. 5 mana card advantage, and you are doing this right. And yes, we have the injury, but we'll just know what to do with it. So campfires and question marks. There we go. Next we do just the defend. Still take some damage, but okay. Now, can't really drop Pyre here, but I don't exactly... annoying fight. Just a lot of damage. Inflame. Inflame just scales our deck and it doesn't cost any deck space. Here, lose maxi points, great random cards. Or we can just smash for 20 life, but okay, I think pressing this option 2 times is perfectly reasonable. Sword of Stone is reasonable. Now, of course, we get the Pyre and Inflame, and life is pretty good. Well, maybe not on this turn, but what do we do? We just use the Gambler's Brew. So we do not really go that low. Okay, so Stomp. It's nice when you play a lot of... I think I'll go... Feel No Pain is great in Exhaust, and we probably want to be exhausted with the injury. At the same time, we're not guaranteed to go... Let's just go for the Iron Wave. Just so we have extra mana, and Stomp is not as good once you have that. So here we obviously smith the Pyre. The upgrade value is just... Okay, we take the damage, but just that he will be scaling up and up and up, and we accelerate things, so we don't let him do that. Then we have the Body Slam, and this cost is just so much easier to play from the Body Slams. We're also a bit less dependent. So then Pyre is nice, but... Or is it the same logic? Just Pyre and Iron Wave, and yes, we do get a bit more this turn. And the next turn. But at least we kill him before this nice 24 damage comes in. Battle Trance with extra mana is always good. I guess I wouldn't mind one Blood Item 2 to set up the Pyre, but... all in due time. So Body Slam or Battle. I think I'll start from the Battle Trance because for a while the Body Slam upgrade is not as relevant. Pen Nib always nice. Add Guilty. Okay, we just replace one curse with the one that will go out. Like, we don't do much harm to ourselves, and eventually... Okay, first time you play this cottage combat, or freebie upgrade is nice, but this is a bit better. Just so the so is not as painful to drop down. Let's grade the bash, because extra turn of vulnerability, it may matter a lot. Do we want to draw 3 here? Probably not yet. The starting deck is a bit iffy. So now, because of this, we can do Pyre and Bash. And we'll be using our draw 3 once we have the Pyre installed. So, well, maybe not on the, maybe even not on this turn. Here it's gonna be another Bash, Defend, and Strike. A bit bad sequence, but what can I do? Now, on this turn, probably do use it. So 13, 14, 16, 18. Blood Potion. Cloak Clasp. It's not a great synergy with a Pyre, but still Body Slam. Also not a great synergy with the Cloak. Well, Cloak Clasp won't really add, but it's just that here now we can afford ourselves to play very much defensively. Now we just need something a bit better than defense, just a teeny bit better. So let's go for the Battle Trance and Pyre. And okay, let's set up defend from the get-go. Oh, and with the Cloak Clasp we don't even suffer that much damage. 10. And now, just play it out, Sam. Play it out. Okay, wait for a second. My leg got slippy on me, so I have to reposition myself. Another Swift Potion, and then... Well, expect a fight. The combos with that Feel No Pain is different archetype. Okay, let's go for the aggression. We do have some strikes to upgrade, and we also, like you see, with a Pyre, it's pretty much draw 1 more card per turn, and with the Body Slams, grading them for free is also kind of fun. I don't really want to be making it innate, though. I think I'll upgrade Defend. It's just that with the 2 Body Slams, this, it feels like we do like that. So Defend and Iron Wave. Of course, getting... Well, this is a sad turn, but... it's still a sad turn. But at least we get rid of the curses and we do our stuff for free. So let's do this and Battle Trance and another Defend. And we could be dropping the Bash here, but... let's work on his stuff first. Strike and strike and strike. And just play it out. Just play it out. Bash for the future, then still... And now we get the first freebie Battle Slam. I also get the first, okay, full defense. And just, oh, right. Well, full defense and just Body Slams for the win. Heart of Iron. Well, the second aggression is probably, well, Feed is still a troll. Primal Force I want even less, because now it's clear that we play from the Body Slam. Aggression, but then again it doesn't clog the deck, and aggression is good because you want to replay your Body Slams as much as possible, and this means it's easier to make this deck out of nothing but block and Body Slams and Iron Waves. Orobas, my friend, you are at it again. Well, now with a Pyre we're not as dependent on his mercy. Random upgrades. We do want to upgrade these to defense, but 6. We can transform the bash into break, plus 30 damage, 7 vulnerable. Or just luminous into our hand. I think let's maybe go for the break, because 7 vulnerable sounds considerable. Then not too much rest in play. We probably do need to charge up the Sword of Stone, do we? So maybe go into this triple elite segment, but we also have 30 coins. 300, that is, coins. But there really isn't any route that has both rests and well, trade in the shop for the campfire is a no-no. So I suppose we'll go there. Not a very defensive first turn. But okay. What matters is that, this turn also isn't too sweet. Inflame. At least. Oh, Pennib. Okay, Pennib is nice. And Strike and Aggression is probably better. But it's just that we got plenty of damage. Break. I will break you. Okay, setup strike, twin strike. Do we need a setup strike? Nah, we need more block. No. Battle trance, inflame, defend, and aggression. Yes. Do we drink the plate in here? No. At this on this turn, the clasp will. Yeah, and now we have these guys. Yeah, the break is very fun. And mighty. Now comes the pyre. Defend and Iron Wave. And Body Slam, but still needs 2 attacks to be brought down. That's okay. Kinda wasted Penny, but now just die, die, die. Cure all. Burn Impact is fine. We need to get rid of those strikes somehow. While also managing everything else. So now Pyre. Battle Trance, defend and defend. Unfortunately, we have to take some damage here. And no turn to do the aggression. Do we? Let's drink the cure all, just so we don't take too much damage here. Yes, this looks much better. Aggression and body slam. We still took some damage here, but some is not all. Aggression, defend, defend. Iron Wave. Hit 36, please. And here it can be defend to absorb the thorns and Pennib. Nice amount of damage. Armaments. I think 1 armaments are always fine. We do have these blocks and defense and whatnot, which we want to improve value-wise. And that's not easy. Yeah, sure, I want to lose my pyre. Or break. Okay, basic defense. I just cannot lose the damage endlessly. Basic defense is not something we want to lose here, but it's ridiculous and preposterous. Now we do break, defend, aggression. Let's drink the skill potion. Kinda. Kinda... should have first drank the skill potion, as always. Okay, if we're doing this, it was like... I'm thinking too fast, and that is bad. You need to play this game slowly. Of course, you first do the one-two punch, and then... Not that it changes that much. We still get... Oh, and we get another break. Right, how does this... Well, oh, yeah, because the aggression. Now we can just break him every turn. Armaments into body slam. Triple defend to match him and still 27. Break is actually kinda fun with the aggression. Battle trance and now we are mildly short on block. And there is 30 damage incoming. Because we had to give out that defend. And he's still 56. And we cannot really... But once again, I should have first... Oh, no, that doesn't... I forgot... The battle trance really quality of life, it on these turns, it really needs a better effect. One-two punch. Aggression, defend, body slam. Probably even Heart of Iron here. Because this thing, it does kick our butt, if only a little. So then defend, armaments, body slam, defend, 27. And now, well, it's still the Spire, of course. Or not. I guess first battle trance. But it doesn't even matter that much. Well, let's say inflame. Just that the first time we hit him, we get a bit of freebie mana. But just that it's not enough to kill him fast. Now it is, but that was a bit painful. Taunt we pick up, we need good blocking cards, especially to compensate for that defend. We'd love to be going to the shop, but we also need... Well, we can forsake the elites for now and go into this shop and single campfire here. But dying with 345 coins also isn't that fun. So let's do that. Especially when we are rewarded with freaking Kifuda. Kifuda is just ridiculous here. Yes, we do not have any dexterity, but come on. We just take body slam. Take body slam. And what else even? Body slams because they will be grabbed back by the, I guess, break too. And now those add 3 block. We can also get this 20 hit points potion. And a card removal. We need less strikes, more damage. So that was much better. Now we can even... Well, no, with one less campfire, I probably still want to go there. There's question mark. Player power, do a damage to all enemies. Okay, we have enough powers. We have fire, inflame, 2 aggressions, that's a lot of damage. Decay is painful, but we will manage that somehow. Fire and break, of course. And taunt even. But no, taunt is excessive. Then again, body slam, just, I suppose, strike. So now... Oh, come on. Well, we do have the... Block-wise, we do have the body slam. But that is a lot of life lost to a simple non-boss encounter. Yeah, second aggression is just too greedy. And just like... Can we even focus it down? Well, with the second break we can. Raging Potion was nice, at least compensated. All of this is just clogging our deck. Here, let's rest. And then it's... fight elite fight. We probably need to fight the elite to charge up the Sword of Stone. What a first turn though. Not a great one. But now we can do this Burn Impact into the Iron Wave, I suppose. Just so we can do... Man, Pyre. I'd love to do Pyre here, but we need that on the first turn. Right now it's a bit too expensive. But then again, if we don't do it here, then we don't really do it anywhere. So let's drop the power. Let's use Break to prevent 17. And now we can also do this Body Slam to do something and, you know, not take as much. Now we have the Battle Trance, so we can drop down some power. And we can do this Strike. Do we Burn Impact for the future? Or do we just defend into Slam? Another Break, but... Okay, I think here we just go for the Oscura. Flame Barrier, obviously a Slam. One could argue... Okay, let me reposition myself. My leg is no longer sleepy. So I can attain a healthier position. It's just that in this particular encounter, it's so sweet. It's like 3 damage 8 times. I will even break him. If this doesn't do that, this will. So I take no damage and he's down to half life. What could be better? Now, well, this turn is not so much better. But at least we get to defend, we get to do armaments. And let's inflame. Now, on a quiet turn, we can do the Pyre and aggression. Does this, but this probably doesn't cost, this is not enough damage to merit a daze. Now it's 4 times 8, but oh, but maybe we don't even need to do this. Shrug it off, upgrade it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So now 2 more elites in the Act 3 and Sword of Stone is charged. Pyre first turn, don't mind if I do. Battle Trance, just break. And strike. Should have done the other way around. But Pen Nib is occasionally difficult to notice. Body Slam, Body Slam, Armament. So do we just focus the... Okay, let's focus the big guy. Aggression. This hand. Strike for the rescue. Colorless Uppercut. Okay, gotta be... This is a very nice deck, but you always want to be having an uppercut. Simply because it's weakness. Weakness is cool. Then we do want to make one upgrade. Let us maybe... Well, I think armaments is still easiest way to be using your upgrades here. So aggression for sure, battle trance. Not the easiest first turn. Let's see here. Also kinda meh. So 6 more damage for us is definitely easier than 1 cards, because with 1 less cards we're not getting to the pyre. So shrug it off. We'll do armaments, and we'll do 8 block into vulnerable, or yeah, 8 block into vulnerable. So now well, here the pyre is in a galaxy far, far away, but here, oh, the automation. The automation was a nice pick because of that. So flame barrier, defend, and I do have to do this iron wave, but we need to set up the first aggression. Just so it, like worst case scenario, aggression returns 1 card, so it's 1 more for the cloak clasp. Sounds lousy, but that's solid enough. So here it's gonna be pyre into flame barrier into simply body slam. I do have of course to apply this break, etc., but this will happen on the future turns. So now the uppercut is upgraded, so we can do this battle trance into the uppercut into the bad sequence actually. Do we need, well, okay, let's do taunt simply for 1 more vulnerability, but and to eat these 6 points of damage. But otherwise it would be just lots of Pan Nibon. Do we even want to, let's do armaments for the strike, and let's save Pan Nib for something greater maybe. I definitely play more than just like more and more damage. So here it's gonna be inflame, burn impact, flame barrier, defend, and then 105 body slam. So now it's gonna be break, iron wave, armaments. Man, kind of scary turn. We're almost dead, right? He has 30. And he deals, well, almost, but not quite. And now we once again, like, with so much mana, getting 7 cards per turn is sweet. So let's do this taunt, shrug it off. I guess break for the pretty victory. Okay, the third aggression is maybe a meme. I mean, well, it's sweet, but probably Barricade is the saner choice. We don't produce that much block right now to fully merit it, but it's still a very strong card. And it's one of the ways of outlasting the final bosses, so yeah. Fiddle with Battle Trance and Burn Impact and everything, it's lethal for us. Jeweled Mask. Of course, the high rolls are either Pyre or Barricade, but even sneaking one of Aggressions or Inflame for free, especially with the Lost Wisp, it's alright, I guess. Then it's kinda no rest for the wicked here. Only one pathway has 2 campfires. But at least it has 2 elites too, so we're charging the Sword of Stone. exactly. Now, here is the freebie. Okay, this will be nice. It will be just inflame. Well, will it? Guess it will be armaments into flame barrier 21 and 24 damage from the body slam. So it dies on the first counter attack, and we actually get only 22. Then battle trance, Spire. I'm just counting if I can do much versus the other one. But I can just strike him out. Okay, let's end the turn, see if maybe we can somehow kill him without triggering the nib. So we save the nib for the next turn, but probably not. It would take 2 powers, and we do not, like, it's like shrug it off. And aggression. And burning impact into strike. And taunt. And defend. And we do have one more aggression in our deck, right? So I guess we try. Havoc. Havoc, of course freebie Havoc is sweet, but we have no ways of controlling it. And Havoc can, we have few of course Havoc can out barricade is amazing, but without any control that's just too risky. And like again we have Doormaker and the Queen. Okay, question marks have to be good. Sharp, nimble, or swift? Well, obviously we'll make one of our powers swift. Because draw 2 is huge, or maybe 2 more block for... Oh, well, unfortunately, we cannot apply both Kifuda and Adroit to the body slam. So if we make something that's swift... No, let's just make swift and flame. Well, here we have to do this. Either 2 random relics or upgrade 2 cards. And we don't even have the plant shop. Well, Frail is definitely more lethal to us, I think. 25% less block from a card is insane. So that's it. Regret also is not very nice, but Frail... Well, they both kind of suck. Here we have... and the rewards are so bad. Awful event, and you cannot really refuse. Let's hope that this is a shop. Spire. Aggression. Well, now that 60-point break. And it also goes through our life points. But for this deck, both of those options were just like, oh! Why? Just why are you doing this to me? Scale Potion, Headbutt. Do we want another Headbutt to... But then again... I'd rather have more draw. Right now our deck is very precise and we don't really want to clutter it without something that's... Okay, thanks mate. No regrets. No waffles too, but... Ship in a bottle, another body slam. Do we just get another body slam here? Well, Vajra would be nice, but we don't play on the strength synergy as much. Buffer. Well, permafrost means 7 more block on the first turn, because we do always play something with a jeweled mask. But that's if we need that. I think that's not really enough to merit so much coin. I think another body slam for sure. And another burning pact. Then it's definitely the boss. We have the life to spare, we have 2 campfires, we have the Sword of Stone. To sort of, you know what? Not the turn for barricade though. Aggression, though it's not like we can defend much. No, but I'd still rather do the defend and break. And body slam. So then... It's totally burning pact time. Iron Wave is not pleasant to pact out, but... Okay. I think my game is crashing. Yeah. Second. Game is dead. So let me close and restart. So we have 2 more elites, 2 more relics. Let's see what can potentially happen with them. If it does. Okay. Let's reapply the cheat engine so it flows a bit steadier. Aggression, this defend body slam. Then we wanted to do a burning pact into the Iron Wave. Not a fan of applying it there, but you know, let's finish with this final defenses of his. Then we need to first break, I suppose, with the nib. Then if we inflame into pyre, that would be painful. Of course we do. I cannot do much about that. Cannot do much about that. Oh. Okay, sorry. Let's say the crash has distracted me. But actually it was just... because of course I should have first played something and then did this, but... Okay, so what were we doing here? Aggression, defend, and body slam. So then it would be burning pact into the Iron Wave. And just an uppercut body slam. And here... Here it should have been just like break into battle trance, right? And then pyre. And then inflame. Or even aggression. That probably matters more here. Cloak Clamp helps us to... Oh, what a scrappy armaments. Are you even kidding me? Oh, not the armaments, but the entire hand. It's ridiculous. Now we drink that skill potion. It's still offering. And it's offering something pretty good. Of course, maybe not... Well, definitely not barricade, but at least like break with 3 more defense. And body slam. And do we want to cast this, or do we want to use them as extra defenses so we suffer less damage points? I think we just utilize the Cloak Clasp. Well, maybe the Barricade then, just so it's out of the system. But we are not very likely to be in the next... Oh, can we just... Yeah, let's just kill him that away. Mail ticket. How, Offering or True Grit? Well, I'd love to be having a True Grit in this deck, but of course the Offering is also quite tempting. Okay, let's go for the Offering. Although this could be a mistake that cost us everything. Strawberry, unfortunately, mostly irrelevant. Life points. Now, Elite after the Venerable Tea set. Now we have this easy Pyre and Inflame and Battle Trance and Flame Barrier and Break, obviously. And Iron Wave. So then, of course, the Offering. Shrug it off. Aggression as a source of damage to everybody. I guess... do we even need a Burn Impact here? Because we can just play out 5 mana and it would be alright. Just defend, defend. Taunt. Body Slam there. Defend. Oh, Pen Nib. Okay. That was sweet. No aggression though, but sweet. Flame Barrier. Iron Wave. And Body Slam. Do we? No, okay. It's a nice turn to be making a barricade. Okay. Pendulum. We'll take it versus the Queen, but it's so great versus the Dollmaker. These final relics are just not great. Okay, Smith. Let's Smith the barricade, because 2 mana is a huge deal. Now, 2 more basic encounters, we just... Okay, freebie Pyre. Don't mind that I do. Offering, of course. Shrug it off first. Now we need to play something. And then... Not even sure if I want to be... Okay, Barricade, because they're not attacking, so this block I'm getting would be a waste. Otherwise... Armaments, aggression. And not as big of a body slam as I expected to be, but now I have 2 body slams and a try of body slams actually. Oh, it's the Inflame. Taunt. Wait, what? Wait, what? And this is all irrelevant. Now, Inflame. And... Actually, I don't like the look of it. I can do the Flame Barrier for 16. Oh no, fine. 24. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 29. So we are losing 2 max hit points simply because, well, we can, but with this 3 we can prevent them. No, I'd rather save that for the boss. It's, well, it is what it is. Kinda awkward hand here. And now it's even worse. Well, we do have this break, so we can pop that a 1. Get some mana. Now the pen nib is very much welcome. Okay, I guess Gremlin pulls its weight right here. Oh, not wait, we didn't lose. I thought we are losing max hit points for sure. Did I miscalculate on my cloak clasp? Oh, doesn't really matter. Because now we can burn this curse. And then, what a hand. Snacko oil. Another body slam. Okay, don't mind if I do. We have aggressions to grade the body slams. So let's vulnerable and here small. Okay, vulnerability matters a lot for us, so I just have more of it. Okay, now we have the doorkeeper here. What would be profound is the first turn. Oh, but we also have the Snecko oil for it. Yes. The pyre. The aggression. And what we do is we use Snecko oil here. Just so we can have, you know, the barricade. And I suppose the taunt doesn't matter. But just like body slam for 3 block to carry into the future. And then battle trance. Burn impact into decay. Shrug it off. And a body slam. So we come into this fight with our powers set up. And with 21 block to boot. Yeah, sure, of course. Do we just... Well, now we just have to feed him. But at least we have plenty of body slams. We have plenty of body slams, so... I guess we do armaments then. Offering. Aggression. Flame barrier. Uppercut plus. And meager 101 damage. Still have 30 more. Block. It rhymes to A. Okay, so armaments. Iron Wave. Defend. 98, please. And then... Oh, it's a bad sequence. Oh, crap. Somehow my sitting patterns are bad here. Okay, what happens on this stream? I guess 2 hours. I'm getting old and 2 hours is a bit too late. Take break every 15 minutes, guys. And do not forget to hydrate. If there is a guide lesson to be learned from here, it is it. Ugh, this goat's a thing. It's intentional, right? So 26 and 89. No goats on the stream, please. We even healed a little from the burning blood. Okay, so the worst part, I think, is over. And now, sweet 0 mana barricade. Well, of course, right now, we'll be getting so much damage to the dome that... I'm also thinking I need to burn in. I guess I'm burning pact. But it's just that I need to do a burning pact here. But body slam is a no-no. Aggression is a no-no. And defend also is a no-no. Because yes, it's basic, but we need every defensive card we can have here. So do I just not do them? Do I just eat the damage and do I mightify in turn of uppercut into aggression? Now here it's certainly an inflamed turn. Another aggression, I suppose. Defend and a body slam. Guess we can just gulp the Regen Potion. But weakness I'm probably saving for the Queen. Oh, what a turn. What a turn. Now here, everything goes difficult and our... So do we just cast the Offering? Well, best case scenario, we do have the uppercut. So we just draw 3 cards that way. Yeah, Spire. It certainly... Well, Barricade that was nice, but Spire would be better. Now, of course, we are also constantly frail, so this will be a tough combat for us. Let's make him vulnerable. And uppercutted. And do a bit of damage that way. So then shrug it off first. Armaments, so Body Slam and Iron Wave are a bit better. Play whatever defenses we can. Nib is charged. Whole 7 block for the future. How amazing it is. None too much. But now we also have our Burning Pacts. I think... let's start doing this stuff. Although we also need to pact out the decay, for sure. Now it's gonna be... Do we even break this turn? Nib is not too useful, of course. Okay, let's break the Queen. And then just Iron Wave here. And defend the Battle Trance. Just so, you know, well, we can do one more. We can actually, or do we just... Okay, let's just kill the bastard, get 1 mana, earn ourselves a nice steady, like carry 20 block into the next turn. We can even do this, draw a card. Oh, not draw a card, just 8 more defenses, why not? 34. Now we have something stashed for ya. 30 only. And what will play even better here is the Flame Barrier. Plus Armaments. Plus Iron Wave. Plus... suppose Body Slam with 3 block in build. And another Body Slam too. Now it's on a 22 block turn. We have... I do have to cast this Flame Barrier here, but Battle Trance seems to be... let's do this Iron Wave. Or wait. Let's not. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. And this is an, well, couple of gaffes, but more or less honest playthrough done. Just body slam it through the to the victory. This just doesn't change at all. Okay, let's play it more beautifully. 139, bye. But here what happened, well, you know, so hefty tablet into Pyre, But honestly, FT Tablet is alright on this character. It's alright. Because you see, you have Exhaust, so that curse, like from all the classes possible, the curse is most manageable. And as a reward, you can get, well, Pact's End is kind of mighty, but that is, it's a specific thing. So what you really want to have it with is like a couple of dramatic entrances. Like once you have a couple, not even one, but two, even better. Once you have a couple of dramatic entrances, then the Pact gets even better because it's easy to get the whole thing going on. So I suppose it's a bit annoying as the very first rare, for sure. So okay, let's say this is a bad option. Conflagration, it's not too amazing, but it works. Feed, it's well, it's kind of bad, but there is also the lesson is that you should not be baited too much about it. Well, I'd say that feed is for the very expert players. If you like the another thing is that okay, through the first location, feed is a bit better because your deck is thin and early on, especially with the fast upgrade. So it's not 10-3, but 10 or 12-4. It's a bit, although in this game, honestly, the way everything scales, it isn't underpowered. It should be really be like the Rogues analog. It should really be 15. 12 is not nearly enough, but anyway, so early feed, like if feed works, it's only if you get it at location 1, and even then, it's an expert card where you need to precisely understand when to go for it and when to not go for it. For a newbie trying to like, well, you will feed, but in a mildly different term, more in a Dota form. So Thrash is a win condition and also great way of getting off all these Eco strikes. And Eco strikes are always an issue, so Thrash, don't mind if I do. Fiend Fire does not scale as amazing as it used to be. I mean, you don't really have the status metagame anymore, etc. yada yada, but at the same time, it's not, well, it still can be used to just like exhaust the strikes and whatever the trash in your deck or whatever the statuses your enemies give to ya, so it's alright. It's alright. Tia Asunder is will be setting you up on the self-damage archetype, so with that, I'm not the big fan, but with Tia Asunder it's more manageable. Mango is a nice enough defensive tool, especially, well, this is really a Stampede deck, that it's amazing. Brand, who can say no to the strength for free? That's amazing. Cascade, just upgraded. In worst case scenario, it's a Havoc that doesn't screw ya, and best case scenario, it's much more than that. Especially now that you have the Cascade, you can build around it, and you can prioritize the more expensive cards a bit better. Offering is fine. I don't like it as much because with how much pressure enemies do put on, yeah, 60 points is a lot, but in many cases, in times when you have to push the button, you would be losing even more than 60 points, so it's fine. Primal Force is alright. It doesn't scale that well into the late game, at least not on the Ascension 10, as we've seen. It might have its issues, but at the very least, it will give you an easy time. You could say that they just like with Primal Force maybe going for the, well, it was just does, but then again, the deck could have won. The deck could have won just if the sequence of cards in the first combat was different. I should have just replayed it. If I get my double block, everything is nice. So early Colossus is amazing. This is a vital deck. Early 1-2 punch is decent enough. Not as amazing as a Colossus, but decent enough. Well, Stoke. Okay, Stoke is a meme right now, I think, for sure. Especially since it used to be done for 0, now it's for 1. That is just like, what the hell? But that's just no fun allowed. Nerf everything. Impervious is fine. Aggression. In many like aggression is an acquired taste. In many decks it would feel so, but with body slams, aggression it's kind of silly because when you think about full block Ironclad, you don't really think aggression, but it is. So yeah, Crimson Mantle perfectly fine. Cruelty, it really wants an upgrade. You see, I skip it not because it's bad, but simply because with Ironclad, you need to manage his life first and foremost. So all these 40, 50 damage turns from the Queen, etc., they don't demolish ya. So just that with this class, you play over aggressive, you get punished. The class tempts you into doing so, but you're reasonable. You're watching me for 2 hours long. This means you're reasonable, man and women, mayhaps. 3% of them, according to the statistics. Well, nowadays I'm maybe not getting enough views for the 3% statistic to kick into power, but whatever. So you will know when to do that. Well, Dark Embrace. Well, I guess if it's a first card done, you can also go deeper into the exhaust, but I don't know. I think it's a bit of a meme, especially with the Doorkeeper the way it is. Like, Exhaust Archetype is supposed to be mega drawy, but yeah, sure, go on. Hellraiser first is amazing. That's one of the simpler archetypes to play as this class. Juggernaut is alright. It's not like we felt, oh, we certainly lack Juggernaut, to be honest. Just that, well, it's a bit of a win more card, to be honest. To be honest, I'm using that phrase a bit too much, but okay, excuse me, whatever. It's been a long stream already. So the point is, it's just that once you are capable of doing these, enough block to absorb 50 damage per turn, well, the basic 50, once you are there, then with the body slams, which are maybe returned to the hand and which cost really not much to play, with the body slams you are killing enemy easily. And if you don't, then you are not getting that much value out of a Juggernaut. So it's in a position where it sort of makes sense, but doesn't really do much. I think it's in a position where it just has to be this weird combo when you're offered one way or another multicolor cards, and this is probably Ouroboros rewards or that event, get some stuff from the other class. Then, after image plus Juggernaut. And even then, given that Juggernaut is not, well, not Juggernaut is not, but the Juggernaut Ironclad decks are not that spammy. Maybe it's less even Ironclad with a dash of a silent and more than silent with the injection of Ironclad. Realistically speaking, the grapple, you'd think it would work in this archetype, but no. Wouldn't really. Well, if you say transform a basic strike into a grapple, then obviously it works better. But practically speaking, we either hit our defensive thresholds and after that we don't really care, or we are low dead anyways. So it's also a bit of a win more. It's not that. Well, yeah, sure. It depends on your combination, whatever, but it's just like to get really good. It's something like if you have couple of these of finesse, like it requires finesse to play. With a couple more finesse, I can imagine that. Maybe more defense given blocks too. So maybe with that I could see that. We also, well, that's a rare case. Of course, we also haven't gotten the Gambit. I had the playthrough where I had Barricade and the Gambit, and that is just the dream. Because unblocked is just 75 and another thing, of course, with the Barricade, we also... Well, the Barricade was fine, but we did not receive... well, it's difficult too. Uncommons, even colorless uncommons, are hard to get by. Of course, with this, what would also be amazing is... Yes? Wait for it. Wait for it. Am I with the stupid? Okay. I'm with the stupid, so... Prolon, of course, Prolon. Because it, I mean, you've stashed 50 block over a couple of turns. Well, how about we receive 50 more the next turn, and the next turn, and the next turn? And yes, the exhaust, but now not anymore. So this one is very pleasant to be had. Even Fasten would be nice enough, just so we get more and more defense value. But whatever. I digress, but I like to digress. So Pyre is bonkers, just early Pyre is bonkers. Well, to be honest, okay, Juggernaut is misleading, but at the first room, it's still not that bad. It's still a lot of extra power to get through Act 1, and then, you know, Unmovable is obviously amazing, it just that's why not? Especially with a Palace Relic that also gives double block. Barricade, well, Barricade first room, now Barricade is amazing, but Barricade first room, that might be a tad, like, Barricade first room, you wanna pray that you do visit that merchant, and you do find a Gambit there. Sure, early Barricades into Gambit, outside of that, just 3, in this, at Ascension 10, or even 8, 9, everything is so aggressive that just wasting 3 mana do nothing, that is a tad complicated, and your deck will not produce that much block too fast. So this is more of an eventually card. It's not the worst, but it is. And Demon Form, you see, they are kind of the same, you'd think, but the difference between this and Demon Form is that at the very least with Demon Form, yes, you invest, you invest 3 mana, but it is getting paid off much faster. Because Barricade by itself, you need to drop Barricade, and then you need to steadily produce more block than the enemy does to ya, and then you eventually win. And without a lot of preparations, that doesn't happen. Whereas with a Demon Form, like, Barricade with the basic defense is pretty much nothing. Whereas even with the basic strikes, you drop Demon Form on an enemy while 2 turns later, your strikes are dealing double damage. 4 turns later, they're doing triple damage. And that's if those are the strikes and not the boomerangs, which you would obviously aim at getting, just so they use that bonus 3-4 times, and so forth. So the early rare card for this class is pretty nice, especially since it will be build defining too. Oh, but that's that for this video. It has been a huge one, but a fun one too. Hope you've enjoyed it and have fun playing games.